So it's very, very strong.
We'll see what's strong in this game. We're gonna get it started. This first round 4, Hidden City, gonna be EG versus Odin Legion. Gonna be a real fun match. Yan Yao Duao, Cavalry, Shenji Grenadier, Sylvanario is Falcon Gunners are the bands. EG selected Imperial Shield Guards and Odin Legion selected Zekalian Militia. So we're gonna find out who is the strongest with those picks. Let's see what weapon classes we're seeing. Oh, tons of mauls on EG, that's for sure. Yeah, alright, so let's go to the units then. The interesting part. And by the way, also 4 muskets on Odin's Legion side, and actually a long bow and a short bow
as well. Yeah, Odin Legion definitely more half and half with their heavy armor and medium and well, the heavy armors and their hero killing classes, and then ENDGEGNER here, they're a lot more heavy armor based. Units wise, as expected, a lot of monks. We've got a handful of 40s as well from both sides. We've got Medal. Not much cav on it, but I'd say Odin's has got about 5-6 units of cav. You got ENDGEGNER have only got like what 3-4. Oh no, about 5 units of cav as well. ENDGEGNER have got 3s like in militia, where Odin's got 3 as well.
Yep.
So very mixed, very mixed.
Yeah, that is very mixed. And I think like the staple 4 units we're seeing right now is basically Crescent Monks, Imperial Spear Guard, the Fortebraccio, and Shield Maidens. They seem to be the 4 base units, and then it's of course especially Scrambled and Zekalian Militia. We got a couple like rare out there, Modao, even a Bagpipe unit there on the Furious DE. And I just noticed, by the way, that was it Stars and the Furious DE are 2 new players for EG, both from NA. So it's gonna be fun to see. Maybe they've been playing together on NA. I don't know.
I've seen a lot of dagger axes as well, which are very good with Dean and with Mauls.
Yep.
They can actually shred heroes.
Alright, so we're gonna find out. It's gonna be a good match, I think. We're seeing also one of the Modao on both sides. We got the Varangian back as well on Betraves. I haven't seen those in a while.
Yep, I've heard lately that their burst damage can take out Crescent Monks. Cheers Temple for letting me know that, and a few of the other guys that did some raid camps with earlier.
Nice.
So it's nice that Varangian Guards are starting to make a little bit of a comeback. Hopefully they keep that way, because not gonna lie, one of my favourite units. Very fun and strong. Right, let's get this underway.
Absolutely, let's get it going.
So ENDGEGNER have got a very split spawn here. They're literally going to try and push all of the towers.
Yeah, so
Odin's
they got the trebuchet strikes just going right in. They gotta destroy those siege or artillery pieces. Just make sure that you get as many towers in as quick as possible.
Exactly. That's what it's all about at the start of it. Anti-arty.
Whoops. And we got Don Dolores going down. Not sure if this was a bit of a mistake. I think it was a French player, I think. Being chased here by Jasper. They should be using pickings 1-for-1 though. Or is it? Oh, everybody jumping down. Here we go. We got a fight.
That's what you like to see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
First blood going over to Jasper and Xandar though. And Don Dolores then and Montemar.
And they managed to get out alive as well without losing anyone.
Yep.
All good fun. You gotta love just being able to jump off a wall at the start of a siege to kill someone.
That is
definitely one of my favourite pastimes.
Sure.
Yeah, it makes the start of a siege very interesting and very fun. So it's nice to see it done. And you see ENDGEGNER are looking at climbing walls from all different angles just to try and take the arty fire away from their towers, so they can actually get their towers to hit the wall. As soon as the towers hit the wall, that's when you can really start your siege.
Yep, absolutely. And EG has done a really good job destroying all the artillery pieces. They're all gone, even the ones at the top of the gate.
Yeah, they only use 1 trip for it as well, which is very good.
Yeah, exactly.
So they've definitely been practicing this. Because like I said, the only piece of siege I see right now is a blue Watcher on the far right side, which is literally a very useless piece of arty on this map.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we got another Maul jumping down, by the way.
Maul jumping down. Yep. See if he can waste any time. Nope, ran right away.
I believe he's a former player from Adamant. Also in a new pickup on Odin's Legion side this week. Alright, so let's go over the units that Odin's Legion have out right now. As they're opening the gate, by the way. They've been delaying this battering ram for a while now.
Yep, some teams like to open the gate, throw some range in that gate, and take out the weak units just to slow down the main gate. Because what you can do as well, if you can stop that battering ram for long enough, it will destroy itself, and you can simply just close the gate. Obviously, with Temple's advice the other week when we talked about this, if a player just constantly commands his units on and off the battering ram, it won't blow up. But yeah, some teams just struggle to do that.
Exactly.
I think I see a Treb trying to come into the main gate there.
Trying to angle it in. I mean, it's actually a really good hit, and I think it may have gotten a couple.
I think it might have actually, I think it did get a couple units.
It
So
got a couple, 4, 5.
Someone's definitely been practicing their Treb shots.
Perhaps that's right. And there was a Zikali militia unit in there, so not being hit though. Another one is going to fly in. Let's find out if it's going to hit. It's, we got the javelin sergeants here inside the gate, trying to delay the battering ram over there. Let's think it's trapped.
Yeah, I think just having like even like a unit Janissaries probably would have been a little bit better for that. Personally, in my opinion, I think Janissaries are a bit sleeper. But
meanwhile, Uku Banana picking out Mist. Ooh, that was a really nice backup. He's got to have a lot of agility and a good weapon there.
You see ENDGEGNER right now putting their imp shields at the front gate just to stop any range from trying to stop their battering ram here.
Yeah.
Players definitely got to be careful of the javelins because all it takes is one cheeky javelin throw and that's it, you're dead.
Exactly. We're seeing lots of small skirmishes going on. Socialist Hippie also picking up his first kill, being on Odin's Legion there. On the musket, he's been picking up like so many kills on beaches as well. He's kill stealing them from Ami, I'm quite sure. But beside from that,
yeah, getting a cheeky last hit in.
Exactly. Right,
You've got ENDGEGNER who've got full control of the wall right now.
Yep, absolutely. So what
Odin's are throwing a couple of heroes up on the left side, just to probably more for vision, just to find out what ENDGEGNER have got, get an idea of what kind of push they'll potentially try to be doing.
Exactly. Trying to block the view from Odin's Legion right here as they're finding a couple malls there.
Yeah, Odin's Legion still got quite a lot stacked into that main gate, which with getting hit like they did earlier with the first trap, it's quite surprising that they kept like that.
They're just gonna trap in, and they actually managed to kill 8 of the Zikali militia inside the gate, so that was a really good
That's
hit.
a very good thing.
Yeah.
But I believe they got, they did get the main gate open, so EG managed to get through that, and I feel like they came off better on that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it did cost them Camaro's life, but I'm pretty sure they're happy to take down the gate. They still got 9 minutes left on the clock, so plenty of time to get it going.
He's Socialist Hippie outside, just been dismounted. Trying to cause a bit of an annoyance. You see Odin's also just heroes up on the right side right now. Just getting a couple of free unit kills, slowing EG down, just annoying him a little bit. We've got a bit of a deathmatch hero fight on the right side as well. Odin's have decided to pull off it. And as you can see, up on the top of one of the stairs, you've got the Imperial shields. They can stop a lot of range.
Yeah, it looks like we're seeing a big rotation here from EG. They're going to the left side of the map, and I like it. I mean, this is a place where you can finally maybe start to use trap. There we go. I'm liking what I'm seeing from EG. They're using the traps. They clearly have studied the map this time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not a bad potential push that they can have going on here. I don't see a lot of range units from them. Oh no, I see the guys like Alien and the longbows here.
Already going on there. Yeah, Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah, you can have a pretty decent push right now. They definitely decided to keep close together. Normally with this kind of map, you see a lot of split pushing where teams are split up. But no, EG decided just to kind of full commit on one side.
And Drefny is just taking a big beating at the front here, but he's still got most of his Imperial shields. Meanwhile, at the back, Ferengi from Betrafas are actually engaging ENDGEGNER, but free backup here, I think. Zikali militia from ENDGEGNER have been throwing a lot, but not really getting any kills, I think.
Yeah, no, I think it's that archway. That archway can really interrupt those like aliens bomb throws there. But you see, ENDGEGNER are pushing through. They're getting their moves, they're getting their heavy armors through, they're getting their monks, and just starting to slice through these Imperial spear shields in a little gateway. I believe Odin's is potentially trying to look for a flank. You do see a couple units of dagger axes and monastic knights around the back, so they might be trying to come in here to stop them.
Susno was holding off the supply, but not for too long, and now the real engage from Odin is going to come in.
Yep, you see like alien grenades coming down.
Yep. With most of the kills though.
ENDGEGNER are getting pushed out a little bit from the little archway.
Yeah, the Forte Watcher are definitely in a good position right now, but Bustoy that time they're pushing through the Forte Watcher sitting at the supply, so the Imperial Spear Guards gotta go come down as well.
He just ended in his monastic knights, but we've still got dagger axes coming through right now as well.
I
think they got a bit of it.
Yeah, they cleaned those up.
Yeah, they've cleaned it up. Odin's really pushing hard back to try and take control of this bottom bit, but it's still not over yet. ENDGEGNER has still got quite a foothold down here.
Yep.
But if we do see on the map, we've got ENDGEGNER also on the right side right now, taking the supply point.
Yeah,
And they are starting to push Odin's back in.
Yeah, EG's really taking this approach nice and slow. I like it. They're fighting very controlled, taking their time to get this supply, using the traps, using the height advantage, and also, like I said, like sending players to the other side as well. Another engage going on here. There's going to be a big fight. Gabba's unit, Degner units actually picking up the fights for Odin's Legion. They're finally pushing through. They're killing EG right now.
Things are really coming through. I feel like this ENDGEGNER should have probably started looking at pulling back a little bit because they have very few units there now, and the last thing you want to do is lose units for little to no reason. But we do see ENDGEGNER, a couple units of shield mains in the back. I feel like this is a little bit of an int. I don't think shield mains are as strong as they used to be. So
and definitely
against Cav.
Definitely against the direct lances. There we go. Yep.
Yeah, and Liao's just. It wasn't a bad idea, but maybe they should have probably pushed in a little bit harder then, just to try and avoid the Cav.
Exactly. But EG already rotating to the other side. They are.
Yeah, we still got three guys on the other side.
Yeah, they are being quick here, and I hope for them that they are not too quick though, because if Odin's Legion actually can rotate quickly to the right side of the map, they might be able to kill those couple guys sitting on the
supply. Yeah, they can start splitting them up as well. And this is not something that EG don't want. EG want to try and keep together as hard as possible, because as we just saw in that fight, then when they kept together quite well, even though they did lose the fight, they did do very well.
Yep.
Seeing some monastics against shield mains right now. I think the monastics going down. Are they going down?
Yep, that's a free kill there.
So that's a whole unit of monastics gone right now. That is quite a big loss.
Yeah, and also here on the stairs we can see
on the stairs,
EG is not together. Yeah, and then getting up another kill there. Balabala is going to lose his shield mains as well. And now the supply is really in trouble.
Yep, you've got Odins from both sides right now, and EG decided to start pushing one side pretty hard. They've put a trap down. I don't think that's going to be the best trap.
They're walking through their own trap though. They got to retreat quickly.
Yeah, they got to be careful. You don't lose any of those dagger axes on. Yeah. I think they're okay. I think they're okay. They need a bit of healing.
Yeah.
Actually, Odin's are looking at doing a bit of a flank right now with all the cav they got going on. I've just got.
Who is sitting on the flank though? If EG managed to approach from the stairs,
Pintoro is on the flank behind with Liao's. You got down on the right side with his shield maidens.
Yep. Is this flanking the flank? Flanking the flank?
There's a flank on the flank on the flank.
Right.
We see a lot of cav out right now, and then so Odins are just looking for that opportunity. They have like 3-4 different directions that they can come from, and then they're just going to make sure that these guys are knocked off away from the, split up away from the guys on the stairs. So, as you can see, the guys on the stairs, it's literally 4 heroes and a unit of 40s. So Odin's can really hard push this, but as you can see right now, EG are now starting to look at getting their cav involved to try and help out the people on the stairs.
Ooh, this trap might hurt a little bit on EG side though, or EG engaging, but they are not engaging with the full team right now.
No, I think they're just trying to help out their friends here to try and just push Odin's back a little bit. They see an opportunity here. They can really take advantage of it if they want to.
This is a really good push.
There we go. The good old dagger axes going through right now.
Yep, raising the Fortunato as well, so that's going to be real good.
It's a nice fight from EG. Very nice fight. They managed to get it back. They regain control a little bit. They are losing the supply point right now, but they have. I feel like they did win that fight.
Exactly. Yeah, they definitely managed to win that fight, and they do need to open up the gate eventually, though. We can see Susano's Monastic still sitting at that. Oh, wait a moment here. Luau Rangers. And camels as well, going to sit on the supply. If this Legion
the camels have braced in a bit of an awkward position there. They do need to get a lot more further in front. There we go. Brace them, and it's a lot better for Odin's right now. Just to waste a bit of time. They have 3 minutes left.
I was about to say, I think Odin's are just trying to delay time now. It's only 3 minutes left for the B point.
Yeah. So EG have definitely got to start looking at getting. Oh, that javelin throw was decent. It wasn't a bad javelin throw. Yeah, EG really needs to start looking at pushing towards the point itself. But as you can see, Odin's right now, they're coming from the back instantly, breaking up those 40s, try and get the cav flank through. EG have got a lot of 40s on that supply point right now though, so if Odin's aren't careful, they can lose a lot. As I said, if they would have had the new cav unit right now, there wouldn't be a worry, but all the other cav, they can get absolutely annihilated from 40s, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Cav still gonna make it. Nane trying to throw his Scully initiative, but not enough to save the supply. Now EG's gonna respawn real quick and just go for the gate and try and make a beeline for B point. But
yeah, that's what they're gonna be planning right now. We see some Zykaean militia just throwing down. Probably want to try and get those Zykaean militias out as quick as possible, and try and save them for the gate fight. Stand down the Socialist AP. That's a scary duo to go against right now as a duel on top of the wall there.
Definitely is. Alright, EG sitting inside the gate. They're definitely trying to deal some damage to the Imperial shields in front. Nicely Kali intro there. But Odin's Legion already at the gate, sitting there, just gonna wait for EG to try and come in.
Yeah, EG are just trying to force this right now. They want to start moving in as quick as possible. But Odin's are coming in with camels right now. They've got their 40s there, so EG cannot really get a cav spam through there. They've kind of got a hold and just push out. Their 40s are doing a good job. They absolutely wiped out those Liao Shen.
There's just no way for EG right now. They only got 9 alive. New reinforcements are coming in.
I see some palace guards and some dagger axes starting to push through a little bit here, which is very good. But yeah, EG hard and fast right down the middle.
Yeah, they are managing to get through, but there's still 40 watches here. Alright, here comes the monastics finally going for the B point.
Yep, and they're starting to capture the B point.
So. Yeah, they may be able to get it if they manage to lock it down, prevent Odin's lead from jumping on there.
Yep, Odin's need to get on there
20
right
seconds.
now.
There should be enough. Or is it? Like, there's a big wipe, I think, just now from EG against Odin's.
Yeah, it's a very good
4
wipe.
alive. Wait, what's going on here? It's only Gaba, Socialist Hippie, and Snicko alive. This is gonna go down to the wire. 3 seconds needed. Gaba.
Literally.
Oh, he's going down. No one else.
Odin's are now in trouble. They need to look at getting back on that endpoint as quick as possible and set up. Sometimes when there's a certain amount of time left, you shouldn't really look at suiciding yourself onto the B point because there's 30 seconds and you're by yourself, you're not going to hold them off for 30 seconds. Definitely if there's only a couple things. But you see EG just running right to that endpoint right now. They've dropped a treb. They want that fight. Dagger axes coming through right now can really wipe up these Odin guys.
Absolutely, and I mean these traps are going to be ported. It's just so many units left. I mean Monster Mongo coming in with the Modao, that's going to be a big unit for them to get on the defense there, as well as the Imperial Shields twice.
Odin's trying to Martella Troy, and now they're starting to get through some Modao. So EG are very good, very good. Pushing through very well. They just got to wipe up these Modao, and it's just a tiny bit of a deathmatch. And you see more and more trebs are going to start hitting this point here because this is the main place that Odin's going to be coming from to try and get on that endpoint.
Susno sitting at the back with the Fanatics. Nice charge, killing all the Imperial Shields there. Also getting another kill on the
very
point.
Nice. And it slows a couple of them down as well, which is obviously what's needed.
Odins are winning the hero fight on the point though, I think.
Yeah, they have started to spawn in pretty well, but it seems like this game's going to come down to more of a deathmatch than it is anything else. Because as you can see with the units on your top screen there, 150 to 55. Not really much more you can push with.
Yeah. There is some quality units on Susno there, with the monastics still having those, but Ragnarok with his 40 watches is going to kill those easily. Same with Monster Mango, he got 7 Modao left, so should be a good counter to the monastics. Oh,
100%, yeah, Susno kind of needs to get his unit out quick as possible there, because like I said, 38 units for ENDGEGNER right now, so they haven't really got anything, but Odins are doing very well at stopping Susno's monastics here. And that's very, very close. I don't think that EG can really do much more now to push through at the end. And as you can see right now, that Odin's are actually splitting up the respawns from EG, so it's going to take longer and longer for EG to have a full 15 man in right now.
Yep.
But even with just that one unit of 40s and the third of the unit of Medaus, they're going to be able to hold pretty well right now.
And also 7 Claymores, that will be a nice debuff. Yeah, so Odin's got at least some units, and EG seems to only have the
26. They got bagpipes.
6 bagpipes. Yeah, I mean, in a deathmatch it can really help if you fight 15-15, but they only got a minute left. Looks like EG is not going to be able to get the death timers online quick enough there. It was really close. I wasn't expecting EG to be able to push through that gate, but they definitely managed to do it.
Yeah, very, very good push from them. Yeah. They dealt with the whole supply point situation pretty well.
And EG are not ready yet. I mean, they are definitely trying to go for it. Time is running out for them, and they only got 4 seconds left. They need to clear the point basically instantly. Zikali and Militia not going to be able to do it, I think, but they are trying. They're going to fight for the end.
Yeah, jump in there, have a bit of fun now. Overall is very good fighting. Very good fighting.
Absolutely, it was a close match. Really, really good. I like it.
Yeah.
Nice intro there. Gonna be the last one. Get those kills, guys. It's gonna be good for the end game stats.
Exactly.
Oh, massive game.
Get a few cheeky unit kills, maybe a cheeky hero kill. Add to the stats.
There we go. Ragnarok.
Odin's taking that first game.
There we go. Defense, Odin's taking the win, but EG, I think, much stronger performance than what we expected from them. Sesper.
Oh, 100%.
16 and 13. Massive performance there.
Yeah, you look at these stats and they're very similar. No one's done insanely crazy. Obviously, Socialist Hippie, 9, 1, and 17. I think we don't expect any less from him, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah, by 1 hour. Yeah.
Yeah, Dan 10-4. But
Just insane. Yeah, actually 10
yeah,
and 4. I mean, Dan is definitely making a case for being MVP of the season, I think, already. He's doing extremely well, but also look at the assist from Turbo Sub, 25. It's got to be the highest amount I've been seeing. But Gaba just getting the same. Ragnar 23. This was an insane match.
yeah, as you can see, Odin's did a lot better with the hero killing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's probably what swayed it a little bit more. It was very surprising for Odin to actually keep units in the gate. Definitely as they were receiving so many trebs. I think after a couple of them did hit, they should have pulled back a little bit, and I feel like that's what did kind of make it a lot harder for them to defend between A and B. But they did an amazing job with their rotations, with their cav flanking, with cutting off EG. But at the same time, EG did a really good job with rotating, pushing through, and decent hard fights there. Very, very good. Quite surprised that normally a full gate push doesn't work, but it worked very well with EG today. And it's just a pity they didn't have enough units for the endpoint there, but that can be this map sometimes. But as you can see on the post battle analyst here, you've got 36 hero kills to 64. So obviously Odin's were really picking off their guys.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially at the end, I think. I mean, when we were seeing like middle of the game, right before the B point was being captured, I think it probably was pretty close by then. But then, of course, at the end, when EG were trying to go for that final point, they were finally wiped at the end. That probably caused the big disparity at the end. But
yeah, as I said, it was very close. EG did start getting a very good foothold on that final point, and it's a right decision to just throw everyone at the end point as quick as possible. But they just simply lost the deathmatch at the end. Amazing performance from both teams. Really good form. Good first game.
Yeah, that was a really good first game. I'm liking this. Especially coming from EG. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm a fanboy, but I definitely like the story behind EG being one of the best early teams that we had in the competitive scene. They've been really like struggling lately. But so I would just really like to see the name of EG being able to step up to what they used to be before. So it's good to see them fighting Odin's Legion, a team that has actually risen to the occasion and actually done really well lately. So good to see such a close matchup today on the first game. We're gonna get, of course, the reverse now. So Odin's Legion will be attacking EG. What are you expecting here? I mean, EG definitely shows an interesting strategy, I think, to go from the left, attacking the supply there. They didn't bring that many Sakalian militia, which maybe would have been expected. So, are you expecting anything different coming from Odin's Legion here?
Well, with Odin's all their muskets, they are definitely probably going to take their time a little bit more just to get full value out of their muskets, to try and take out some important units. They also have some bows as well, so they'll be looking at for EGs like Psychalian militia and range units and whatnot, just to get rid of them as quick as possible. I feel like that's going to pepper them down more and more, and as soon as Odin's find that kink in the armor, they're just going to full send it. I probably expect them to probably get down 2 sets of stairs instead of 1. But yeah, other than that, I feel like it's going to be quite a similar tactic they're going to be using.
Alright. Yeah, definitely makes sense. I'm also expecting very much the same units. I think we saw all the meta units that we were expecting. Maybe some of the old ones were the Modao that we saw a couple of. Not sure about the shield maidens. I gotta be honest. Looks like the Cav, especially the Dagger Excellence, is just really effective fighting against shield maidens. And inside the city, I feel like maybe not the most effective unit right now.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they're very good as a hero killer when you're on the wall. So with such classes like Poleaxe and Jewel Blade, locking a hero down, having the shield maidens on top, just quickly killing someone, nice. Other than that, maybe a bit of a defensive buff if you're going to do a bit of a blob fight. But yeah, as soon as you're down on the floor in the courtyard area inside that city, you're so prone to cav flanks from left, right, and center. So that's where shield mains can really just get deleted.
Yep, absolutely right. Yeah, so shield main is definitely strong, but we're gonna find out. What unit that we maybe have not seen do you think might be a good one on this, based on what we saw just now?
I want Axe Throws. Throw some Axe Throws. Get him in there. Or just her skulls. Just get her skulls in. So I said, I'm still going on about this week, so I want 15 her skulls. Or main gate. Chanting and just go.
They can be such a good unit, right? I mean, the buff can be massive, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, the buff can be nasty. Like they can really like shred through. It's just the timing that you know, with the chanting and whatnot. It's just
exactly.
you got to time it so perfectly to get the maximum out of them that teams just don't want to really risk that. I reckon we will see a couple of units here and there that we weren't expecting. But at the moment, it's very meta heavy on, you know, the monks and all the cab units.
Yeah, and for the Bracha, of course, the Imperial Shields, it's pretty common, for sure. And also,
yeah,
the Zicalian there being... I think I saw one unit of Longbow, but that was about it. So, surprising to me. I think this is one of the maps where Longbow can be extremely effective, especially going for the B point.
Oh yeah,
and then even at the final, if you shoot from the right side, top right side, onto that corner where the different legs will sit, I'm pretty sure you can get really good angles in there as well. So, definitely some good spots that you can use. Lobby is ready, by the way, if you're not sure if you're in there already, but lobby's up.
The same pass.
So, yeah, same pass. So we can get it going as well. Waiting for a player from EG side. But yeah, so Longbow, why haven't we seen him leaving?
To be fair, Longbow in this map is very good because you can be right up on the wall and you can oversee near everything. As soon as you take an A point and you're up on top of that wall, you can see the supply point, the B point, both supply points. So it's a very good vantage point to be able to start picking off anyone who's trying to heal, range units. And there are a couple of guys here who have got insane longbows as well. You know, very good stats on them, so they can definitely start picking off a few people, or at least get them down to very low HP, which, if you're a hero with only 20% HP, you don't really want to be going into a fight. You're going to be waiting for your hero to come up to get in the fight properly.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, same with the units. Units on the wall, they can hit near enough all around the B area. So the defensive team, they need to look at really, probably to start hard pushing a couple of these little points. If you see like a longbow unit on the side, you know, int yourself in. It's only one death, but you could probably get like a full unit of longbows.
Yeah, exactly right. Yep. And I definitely do feel like Odin's Legionnaire were always trying to find EG in the back. Like they were always looking to flank. They were also making sure that they got the gate covered while still fighting for the B supply. Like it was really patience play from especially Odin's Legion, but also EG doing a really slow push. Surprisingly, I think, to me at least. As we got a crash, so we're gonna wait for Glatzheimer to come back in.
There's always one.
Always one, yeah.
Yeah, no, Odin's played it very well. It's always good to keep a unit on the gate when the attackers are like pushing from the walls, because if the attackers start losing, they might want to try and keep the fight very alive by pushing through the main gate itself. And if there's no units on the main gate, they can easily get cav through and whatnot, which can ruin a defender's day. Odin's did very well. They were very patient with it. They were holding pretty well. They start getting pushed back, and then with the patience and with the rotations of the other players and whatnot, they start pushing back out. It's a bit weird fighting in that little archway. I feel like it's a little bit more defender heavy, depending on the units, obviously. But EG did a very good job with keeping that fight going for so long. That was a very long fight, actually, down the bottom of his stairs. And I was expecting more cav to come through, but obviously without the new cav here, and with both teams having plenty of Fort of Ratios, you don't really want to be inting cav too heavily, because you'd just be losing more units than what you'd be gaining out of the whole situation itself. No, very good fighting, very good fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just getting the stats back up. So we saw stats per Nicolay doing really well on AG. Chimera also sitting at the top. I think Susno sitting at the bottom, as he always is. Oh no, he wasn't. This time he's getting 5 hero kills. He's always leading from the back, as a true team captain should, as Tempest always keeps telling us. But also we got Stars, one of the new players on EG, doing really well there, sitting at almost 100 unit kills. And on the other side, we saw Gaba, we saw all the guys that we talked about getting the massive like hero kills, unit kills. Even like Snicko HD sitting at the bottom for Odin's Legion had 82 unit kills. Like that just shows what a crazy game that was.
Yeah, that game, I feel like near enough everyone played their part very well. You know, you had the heavy armors in the front having a really good fight. You know, like that archway, it was just all heavy armor players. They're just absolutely battering each other. Yeah. You had like, you know, the muskets like Socialist and I can't talk right now. Like Socialist and Dan, they were starting to pick up the hero kills.
Getting kills there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that was too soon. Oh damn.
I was like, what's going on here? I thought we were waiting for someone.
My bad. All right.
But yeah, so you had the musket players. They're doing their thing. They were getting the hero kills in, and yeah, everyone played their part really well. The cab players had some really good flanks.
Yep.
Yeah, let's leave this battle.
Yeah, I was too trigger happy. Well, I was just too hyped to get it going.
Excited.
I saw we ready from Chimera, and I was like, oh, we ready. Let's go. But too soon. All right, so quickly gonna switch to us. Set up the lobby again. Alright, CBR round 4, Odin's Legion versus EG. Here we go. Same pass. And now getting the hidden city map. Clear skies, because we only play in summer. Alright, oh damn, Chimera quick on the lobby. I think he was even in there before I was. That was crazy.
Keen
Next level
now.
skills. He's got to be hacking somehow. Oh, we are moving in too quickly. Alright, there we go. Alright, we got the new units. Actually, kind of nice they managed to get the new unit in the ban system. I remember monks weren't in there when they were released, so
It's just awkward.
yeah, so it's good. We can actually ban them. I don't have to ban like the blue monks from season, what is it?
They are OP though.
Yeah. In case someone wants to play them, they now can.
Just never know. Need that spot filling in their warband.
Yeah.
Let's throw some blue monks in their sword.
Exactly. Well, EG might need some praying for this game if they want to win it, so they might as well get some.
I said that the first one there was really good. I think that's probably the best they've played all season so far.
Oh yeah, no doubt in my mind.
Odin's aren't exactly a small team either. You know, they're on the rise. They've been doing very good. They've been doing very good. They've got really good players. So to be able to push into them like they did, you know, they're definitely on the up themselves as well. So hopefully, if they got a very good defense strategy and their rotations are solid, we could be seeing another crazy fight going on today.
Yep, absolutely right. Alright, so we got 15v15. Let's double check that they're ready now.
Everyone in the right team though.
I'm gonna wait patiently, not hit any buttons. And then we're gonna get it going. Alright, now EG ready. We're waiting for final confirmation from Odin's Legion. I better ping him. Alright, it's gonna be a good one. I'm really excited for this one now. Let's see if EG can actually manage to get the point here against Odin's Legion. I mean, it would be a real surprise, that's for sure. Quickly gonna give you guys a heads up about the standings. So EG currently sitting in last place because, well, Ape's technically last place, but of course Ape's quitting the league. So EG got 1 point. That should be 2 by the way, because they had that point against Ape. I'm gonna change it. So EG sitting at 2 points at the bottom. Odin's Legion currently sitting at 4 points. So Odin's Legion guaranteed to go to 5 points, but EG could make it to 3 points. That would tie them up with the Rise of Series for now. So yeah, basically any point that you can get is really important at this stage of the league. So we'll see. Alright, still waiting for Ragnarok, so we're gonna find out if he's ready as well. Yeah, they're ready. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna hit the button. Countdown.
It's just the first game of the day, CB.
Yeah, just as well might be. Yep.
You know what I mean?
So, second game of the day. First lobby start. It's not even that bad. We've had worse days. EG is gonna defend. Odin's Legion gonna attack. I mean, I remember a couple days where we had to restart 3 or 4 times. I don't know, just to get the first game going. So we're doing really well today.
Alright, let's see what kind of setup we're looking at here. Again, a lot of mauls, not shocked.
Yep.
Pretty much the same weapons. Odin's are going for 3 pipe players, so that'd be quite fun to see.
Yep.
A lot of 40s. Psyche and Militia, a couple of them. We've got a lot of shield mains on Odin's side. And then EG, yeah, they're still picking a lot of them as well.
Yeah, definitely lots of shield bands. I'm surprised there's so many.
Couple of
EG also bringing the Alchemist, 2 of them once again, and even the Bagpipers. They still continue to use those. We saw the Bagpipers still alive at the end. I think the Bagpipers, if you want to use them, like bring them early.
Yeah, I felt like at the end there, they're just there for moral support, weren't they? We'll sing you a song before you die.
So 4 units of Psychology Militia, that's actually quite a bit on the side of Odin's Legion. Makes sense to me, for sure, but definitely different. Don Dolores, the one that got first blood that last game, not there on the short bow. So Odin's Legion have made a few changes. I think Dudu Boba Fest is the new guy in there.
Yeah, it's very interesting what EG is starting with here. You got monks, shields, and then shield maidens. So
Yep.
don't see any like anti-cav here.
Yeah, true. Other than
So definitely looking probably fighting on the walls. Yeah, no range, just pure shield maidens, monks, and shields. So interesting. It'll be interesting to see what kind of strategy they're going to be using here.
No. They definitely got enough cav. They got like around 8 or 10 units of cav, I think.
Yeah, they'll definitely be looking for those flanks when the big fights start happening.
So we got the bagpipers out already at the start. I would be expecting anyone with the alchemist to switch out as well, but they might be waiting for the first fight to really start. I mean, if you bring 2 alchemists, you don't want to waste time getting those out. You need to get their value easily, easy at the start.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Let's see how this is going to go.
I see you're enjoying Twitch chat as well. That's good.
Yeah, got to jump in there. Blame you for your trigger happiness.
Exactly.
Let's see if the anti-art is just as good as what EG did, because I feel like that's one thing that some teams just kind of forget about doing sometimes. As the only artillery we get in this tournament is literally what you're starting with.
Yeah,
exactly. So let's see how good Odin's are with dealing with it.
I mean, you do have all lights, but we can see all the muskets running to the wall, making sure to destroy the watch chests that are easy to destroy just for using the bombs and the shots, and then you can go to the ballistas. Ooh, nice shot there onto Novelty.
Yeah, I won't put past some people who like practicing with the ballistas as well, trying to get those cheeky first headshots.
Yeah, exactly. And that's stuff that you can practice, right? Like last time, ooh, he's getting 2 hits on Novelty, but just aiming a little bit too low to get the headshot.
People want those montage clips, so
yeah,
they'll happily sit there and practice. Yeah, as you can see, muskets and the pikes just looking somewhere for the ladders to get up there to cause a bit of problems. You see someone's up on the right side.
Yeah, just spotted those. They're gonna be pushed away though. It's a longbow and the maul there.
Yeah, 2 of them take up 4 of them.
Yeah.
Odin's have done very well with getting rid of the arty. I'd say there's no more arty left on EG side now.
I would really like to see a montage from CBR Rifles at the end of the season where someone has gotten like a ballista killed every single game. That would be insane.
I say Amnia normally puts a montage up after his tournament, so
exactly.
Might see one from him.
Who knows? I would be willing to hand out a couple of runs at the end of the season just to get like the most ballista kills at the end of the season, if you can prove it.
Yeah, with proof.
Impossible to track, yeah. Exactly.
I just think none of the EG guys are looking at trying to stop these towers now, then letting them all up.
Susno's in trouble though on the left side.
Yeah, Susno's been
dropped
by
2 pikes, or is he in trouble?
As well. Yeah, I think they can get out.
Yeah, they can get out. He hasn't taken any damage actually, even though
pikes are still trying to chase him.
Yep.
Oh.
No, he's gonna go.
Dodge it.
Just tickling. Oh, big fight going on the left side though. Missed picking out Furious D there.
Good old deathmatch here. We got some shield mains coming in as well.
Yeah, got the shield mains there. Yeah, another unit coming in. Chimera with the and also the outright is strong from the bottom.
Yeah, that's got some jab cab through up there.
Good assistance there. Ooh, but it looks like Chimera's actually being abandoned by his teammates.
Yeah, there's a whole unit of Imperial shields just kind of getting lost here. We also see Odin's leading right now. They're coming from the main gate as well.
Yeah.
So they're really starting to come in hard already. Even though units aren't up there with them, but Odin's will happily take the hero versus hero fighting.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm very curious where EG is gonna want to defend right now. I mean, Odin's Legion clearly not ready to already take the gate with their units and their heroes, but EG is not sitting ready at the location. They want to defend the B point, it looks like. So different strategy from EG.
It is a very different strategy. They've got a couple units on the supply point then, and the normal kind of B setup, well, except for the other side of B, but yeah, a lot more normal siege related here. They probably just don't want to look at taking the IK and militia bombs up top. And also, with Odin's having a couple bows as well, and the muskets and whatnot, they probably don't want to get too close to the stairs because, as I said before, muskets and longbows just will have a field day with any special units that EG decide to take out towards the stairs. So pulling back isn't a bad idea. Depends how they're going to rotate and defend this, because with pulling back a little bit further, it means that they have to rotate a lot more quicker because it is a lot more distance to be able to rotate if they could decide to come down the left or the right stairs or even the back stairs.
And we are having Nane's longbow sitting at the back. They are sitting kind of alone, so if they get spotted out, I think they can be an easy pickup by Odin's Legion. At the same time, there's lots of stuff you gotta go through, so it might not be the easiest to do. Typically, we actually see teams like just completely abandoning the right supply point, unless they want to defend the stairs. So I'm surprised to see EG pull off this.
Yeah, I was about to say, normally when defending B, yeah, you want to kind of keep the left supply point, and then you just give up the right supply point. But yeah, no, EG are very kind of spread out. They've got a small couple people in the left supply point, and then they've got quite a lot of units here in the middle of B. So you've got like Liao's, dagger axes, some shield units,
so
monks. So
I think the big advantage right now for EG is that they've got the Cav, and obviously you definitely don't have the Cav. They only got 3 or 4 in Fort Barcho right now, which is their only anti-Cav.
And those 40s need to be down with the main blob itself, because EG have that chance for Cav.
They do have ACA Buck with the Imperial Pike Guards as well. Alright, here they go. It's gonna be a split fight, looks like.
Yep, Odin's going to be looking at taking both supply points at the same time here. EG are rotating towards the right supply point. They already have a couple people on the left supply point. I feel at left supply point they are going to look at getting overwhelmed here. Yep, they are moving off that left supply point.
Yeah,
they've got dagger axes and whatnot.
Are they going to
giving it up?
Are they
so they're not really
looking for rotation to kill off the small group? That's my question here. I think they might be. If they can kill the small group quick enough, which they should be able to. There's also some shield banners coming in the back. This might be a really good win for EG, and then they can finally wipe out the other 10-man squad from Ozini that's sitting on the B point. They need to be quick though. Like the trebuchets might really start to hurt them. If they
they've got to be very quick. They have wiped out. There's only a couple of people alive left on the left side, but Odin's are like full committed onto the B point right now. They're starting to set up all their units right now.
Left for them to capture it.
And that's a lot of time now for them to get endpoint. A lot of time.
Absolutely, they got like over 10 minutes, 11 minutes here, and I think these units of Cav, they might be picked out. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a unit of dagger axes gone right there, and a unit of shield mains as well.
Yep, and there's another.
It's a uncooked banana trying to slow him down a little bit.
Ooh,
EG need to get back, and he needs to set up as quick as possible right now.
Yeah, so EG managing to get like 4 or 5 kills on the side of Odin there. There's still 3 down from Odin, so EG definitely still on the lead, but not by that much. And also the Outriders here picked up.
Yeah, Odin's are literally just starting to chase them down, get a few little cheeky kills. It seems like they're going to lock down the left supply point there, and there'll be a left and a mid push. They might even get a couple of people around the back just to slow down any of EG's reinforcements that will potentially be coming in. A couple of Psyche militia can easily go up on the left side here and throw in. So EG have definitely got to be on the lookout for that, because EG are setting up on the left side, which is very prone to special unit grenades.
Yep, that's right.
And see right now, Odin's also capturing the right side. A bit of Socialist Hippie, yep.
Yeah, it looks like we're pissed.
And they are rotating right now towards the mid.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're going to do a full mid push.
Well, taking their time, also taking the right supply here, and they will be able to spam their 11 trebuchets easily. They got,
and as you can see right now, the grenades going right over onto that left side. So EG have moved out the way. They haven't, I think, a couple of forward brushes have been burned from those militia throws.
Yep, doing a really good job there.
Yep, and Odin's have rotated fully to the right side now, and the mid.
Yeah, on the right side as well, picking up 2 nice kills there. Xander is gonna try and get a retreat. Ooh, he's gonna take Glassheim's monks there. That's a good pickup, Xander.
Yeah, that's a good little pickup.
They may also be able to get Socialist Hippie with his Clever Dragon's dagger axes as well. Imperial Spy Guard coming in.
And EG have started pushing out on the right side here with a couple of dagger axes, but Odin's have read this, and there you go, pincer from 2 units of dagger axes right there. That's stopped EG, so EG should be looking at pulling back right now and setting up in. I think we have to go for a bit more of the old school tactic, getting a couple of units under that little shelter, red shelter there, and just waiting to see what Odin's do here.
Exactly.
Yeah, Odin's have fully rotated to the right side now. Be interested to see how they're going to look at pushing out here.
Let's take a look at the units that they're bringing right now. With Chimera on the Alchemist, we got Yorkshire Pudding bringing the Camels. That's going to be important. Only lots of Fortbrusho, Shield Maidens, and Monks of course in there as well. Novelty sitting on the Palace Guard there for EG. Not any Sicalian militia for EG right now, and I think only where we have 2, I think, is it? Yeah, 2 on the side of Odin's Legion. Other one maybe swept out.
Yes, I'm surprised Odin did that. Actually keep along that bottom side there and keep throwing in their grenades and just pepper them down. But then again, I just saw there they can actually throw on the right side there as well.
Yep, exactly right.
So that's a nice little spot. They definitely must have been practicing that because I didn't even know about it.
Yep. And again, they still have over 7 minutes of time, so they may just rotate back to the other position if they see an EG back in that spot, throw the bombs again.
Yeah, take your time. And it gives you your range heroes as well to start picking off units here and there. So yeah, they can take their time. EG are in very difficult position right now because, like I said, there's so many different ways that an attacker can attack this last point. And you can really cut off any real supply and reinforcements from EG by just covering all these sides.
A little bit there on the trebuchet as well. Only getting
it's very hard for defenders to actually see the trebuchets coming on this map. Definitely on the final point here. But as you can see, we got Odin's Legion in the back right now, and any player that they pick off from EG right now, they're going to find it very difficult to get back into the fight to be able to cover this endpoint. So EG have got to be very careful with their heroes and their units right now.
Yeah, that's right. They're definitely trying to bait in a couple traps here. See if one will hit.
Yep. And it looks like EG are starting to push into Odin's.
Yep. There we go.
Odin's looking at pushing back in now. It's going to be the big fight now, the decider.
A really nice pellet guard there from Lofty, I think. Nice brace for the Watcher from Trapper Dragon, though, in a really good position. Another trap is going to land on black and red, and before the camels finally moving in from Yorkshire Pudding. That looks like Odin's Legion definitely getting some space here. Itichoku.
The Heroicas are really going over the top right now, getting those kills. You've got some Dagraxes looking at punching through the back, and some Shield Maidens as well, but there's just a single unit of 40s in the back there, and Odin's have really looked at wiping EG right now. There's only a couple of EG left, and with the amount of 40s, and with the amount of 40 right now, there's going to be no way that EG can really push in. There's so many units and so many heroes.
It looks like a done deal. And also the Refni sitting at the base point there with the Sotobrocho, preventing EG from being able to come in quickly. So they need to waste their abilities right there, and then only 10 seconds left to capture the final point. Looks like EG trying to make
only a single longbow has managed to get through here, but we are seeing EG come around the side here. They have got a unit monastics. Yeah. It's all about holding that point, but it's a long time to hold this point right now as EG.
These monks gotta run. Yeah, Susno once again with the monastics trying to make the hero play here. If they get in with the Kev, which is being spawned right now, Alexander also coming in, or the only one sack coming in with Kev as well.
Rotating back in now, and yeah, they're slowing the guys down who are respawning, and whoever's coming through, getting through, it's literally just heroes right now with the odd unit Cav being able to push through.
They need to race Fort Roger right now, or this Kev's going to destroy them. Nope, Fort Roger race, nice job.
And as you see right now, we've got Dan coming from the back as well. Now a trap coming in as well, big trap.
That hurts. 2-1, no, Novelty still on the point. Oh, it's such a slugfest right now. 5 minutes left on the clock, only gonna need 1 second. Push Novelty off and it's done. And there we go.
Last game.
That was really convincing from Odin's Legion. Back into shape, I think.
Yeah, I understood what EG are trying to do there. They're trying to pull back a little bit to make sure that Odin's like range heroes and whatnot could just pepper them down forever on the B point. I think they pulled back a little bit too hard, too quickly, and their rotations were a little bit slow. But Odin's, you know, as I said, up and coming team, very good players in that team, and you know, look at right now, you've got Dan, Social Hippie, 5-0, 2-0, plenty of assists on both sides, and yeah, the unit kills on Odin's side compared to EG's is just night and day. You know, just look at the MVPs. You got Xander with 50, unit kills, and you got Ragnarok with 106, more than double. Yeah,
absolutely. Like very clear win here from Odin's Legion. EG, I think, trying to get the right idea at the start, like quickly rotating to the small group, but then they were too slow to get back to the B point and win that fight. I mean, they maybe could have won it actually if they had committed to it, but Odin's Legion just had such a great lockdown on that B point that EG didn't want to pick